You know, I talk a lot in my videos about a sharp knife and how important that is, but it occurred to me the other day, I've never really talked to you about the proper motion in cutting delicate things and how to preserve them. Certainly you need a sharp knife all the time without question. But when it comes to things like, you know, tender vegetables and tender herbs like basil, there's a certain way to go about it, at least in my opinion, that I've had a lot of success, and I'm gonna show you how to do it. First, I'm gonna show you the way I was taught, which I think is kind of the wrong way, and I know it's very popular, so I'm sorry if I offend anybody. But you take a basil leaf and you roll it up just like this, right? Everybody's kind of seen this one before. And then what we tend to do is we take our knife, and we love to just chop down like this knife is a guillotine, and you can see how my knife is pegged to my cutting board, and it's for some reason I just love to stick it there. I don't know why that is. And I'm going straight up and down on my herb, right? And as you can see as I cut these, you can see that they're starting to bruise already. It's almost like a bludgeon the basil. There's nothing delicate about this, and while they look okay now, in a couple hours they're gonna be kind of like getting black, and they'll taste really vegetal and kind of murky, right? Let me show you a way that I've kind of developed over the years that I think works out a little bit better. So what I do is I take the basil and I stack the basil, and when it's this big, actually, I'm just gonna cut it down in half a little bit. I'll make a few layers here to make the job a little bit more efficient. But what I'm really trying to do here with my knife, again, it's a nice sharp knife. I'm not gonna have my tip of my knife buried on my cutting board or pinned to my cutting board. I'm actually gonna use the knife like a saw. And I'm gonna put almost zero pressure on this knife whatsoever. And as I just move it front to back, I'm using almost the full length of my blade. And I'm finding that it's a much more delicate process. I'm not bruising the basil throughout the process. You can see the edges don't look as ragged whatsoever. And I assure you, 2-3 hours from now, this basil is going to look the exact same, when this one's going to look dark brown and almost black and kind of rotting, if you will, right? So a big deal as far as like not bruising fresh tender herbs or tender vegetables for that matter. Tomatoes are a great example. If you look at this, I can't press down on this tomato. I can't break it, right? So to kind of case in point this, if I use the tip of my knife and just almost zero pressure back and forth, nice clean slices, right? The same goes for dicing. I'm not going to smash my tomatoes like this. I'm gonna gently slice my tomatoes, almost zero pressure again. And then I'm gonna go front to back and use almost the full width of my knife. I don't want these to leach out any extra juice. I don't want them to bruise. Essentially, I just wanna keep the integrity. So there it is. Front to back, nice sharp knife. Be gentle, folks.